Good morning, Canyon Hills. I know that this being April the 9th, we are officially in STAR testing week as our first STAR tests take place tomorrow. So I know it's going to be a busy week. STAR testing is always one of those times in the year that everybody it seems like we're more exhausted than when we're doing just a regular day. So I just want to let you guys know how the week is going to unfold, and we are here to support you. If you guys have any questions at all about this week's activities, please don't hesitate to let us know, so that we can make sure that it's as easy a week as possible for all of us. This morning, we will be holding a Cobra Kingdom meet for both our 7th and 8th grade students so that we can do our very best to motivate them to do their very best on the STAR test this week. That will be during 4th period, and that will be 7th and 8th grade only. Please make sure that you wait for us to call you to the gym so that we can get our students seated quickly. There are no PLCs today. On Tuesday, we do have our first administration of STAR. STAR writing for 7th grade will be taking place, as well as STAR math for 8th grade, as well as our 6th graders will be taking a mock writing test. At this time, you already know who those students are, who you are testing, where you are testing, and please make sure that those students know as well where they're supposed to report first thing tomorrow morning. There are no PLCs on this date, obviously, and we will have AM periods first, second, and third period after testing, and that is making the assumption that we do have 3 periods in the afternoon. If we end up not having 3 periods due to testing, we will probably have only first and second, but that will be announced tomorrow. Wednesday, we've got STAR 8th grade reading. Again, we have no PLCs going on. Our 6th and 7th grade students will have a normal schedule, except that there will be no bells. On Thursday, I do have a team that will be helping us put in the CNA that you all work so hard on into the Plan for Learning website. Once again, Friday, April the 13th, apparently I am just going to wait to see what happens so that I can face whatever it is when it does happen. The 2017-18 School Climate Survey has now been released. I know when I did hear that that was available on our Data Central folder, I was thinking to myself, oh, please let it have come out well. And so I'd like to take this moment just to review with you some of the things that we did find via our climate survey. So to start with, if you notice our participation rates, we had 100% of our students complete the survey, which I really appreciate all of our teachers helping out during that first period throughout that 8-week period of time to get students to be able to do it. Also, we had 44% of the parents complete it, which was also a very high rate in comparison to other schools in the district. And so we definitely did well in that area. The first part we're going to look at are student responses. In the student responses section, you can take a look under student climate. I like my school. It rose from 68.6 all the way to 77.8, and I was really excited to be able to see that. I learned to respect others at my school, another increase from 76 to 83, almost 84%. I feel safe at my school is also getting better, and I know that we can continue making that a huge reality for our students next school year. I feel my teachers believe in me. That has gone up as well from 71 to 78. And I have been bullied has gone down dramatically, which we always want to see in our climate survey. And so that's that first area. Very excited, very happy about what I saw there. For staff climate, I see that the teachers get along with each other. That's actually down. And so if you guys, for whatever reason, have something you need to discuss with each other, please make sure that we are doing so outside of the student view and making sure that we are in support and constant team effort throughout the school day, especially in front of our students. I feel the principal at my school is doing a good job. It went down from 92.4 down to 71. One can only assume that they weren't actually talking about me. That's what we can always hope. However, in the grand scheme of it, as everyone else, I know I can always do better as well. Under the learning climate, I'm not going to go through it step by step. I'm going to kind of slowly go through it. However, I was very excited to see that we do have increases in all domains. Under innovation, here's another one that also we have increases in all domains from 1617 to 1718. Really excited to see the technology up to 93.6. Also, I was noticing that the idea and behind students attending college, 87.7 believe that they will attend college. So we were also very excited to see that. On parent responses, you can take a look here. We do have some downward trends, not by much, but we do feel that there are some areas, as always, that we can do better in. I will not read those again one by one. Here, again, under staff climate, these are parent responses. And then finally, this is our learning climate. Again, these are parent responses. We were kind of going up and down, but for the most part, we still have excellent responses from our parents. And I'm really excited to be able to see those types of things happening. Finally, under innovation, we went up in all different areas. As far as parent responses. So with that said, I do have this copy electronically. It is in our OneDrive folder, but we also will have them available by the sign-in sheet, as well as during the faculty meeting where you have a chance to review them. This is likely going to be the 2018-2019 Bell schedule. As you all know, we have been working diligently on our comprehensive needs assessment. And one of the things that we did talk about really as a faculty and staff is that we need more time with our kids. And so this is our draft schedule for the 18-19 school year. If you notice, of course, our start times remain the same. We will be starting at 7:50. All of our periods, which will be 6 per day, are going to be 63 minutes each. If you notice down here, we do have only 2 lunch shifts. Yet again, we will have A lunch and B lunch, and that will all be based on the student's 4th period teacher. At this time, we are working on the master's schedule as it pertains to all of us that are going to be here teaching next year. Our core subject areas, you will see the same students every single day, and that will be explained on another slide. For our elective teachers, you will be seeing students every other day, which will be minimizing the teacher-student ratio to make sure that we do have enough elective choices for our students, but also that we have smaller class sizes. The last thing that we want is for them to get larger with no additional time. So instead of 45 minutes next year, you will be seeing students for 63 minutes at a time. And again, if you notice, this last 7th period intervention/tutoring, this is once again, we are requesting to have an additional period added, but only for some of our kids. So, and for some of our teachers, not everyone. So anyways, this is just a draft. We wanted you guys to be aware of it ahead of time so that you had an idea of what next school year will look like. When we take a look at this slide, I'd like to start by saying that determinations have not yet been made fully as to the location of our teachers for next year, as well as the content subject area that you will be teaching. However, I do want to let you know that I promise that prior to you leaving for the summer, everyone will know their location, you will know your master schedule for next year, you will also know what grade level, what content you are teaching, and while I have already begun to have those conversations, we are still making decisions and we are still waiting, of course, to see what our star scores have to say. But in a nutshell, I wanted to review with you what you could expect. To start with, if you notice here, the very first thing that especially if I were still teaching, is I would notice that we have switched from a traditional schedule to a block schedule. So this is an example of the traditional 6th grade schedule. And if you notice, the very first thing I saw as well was that we are now holding our PLCs by grade level. When I think about how our Cobra Tech Academy, as well as our main campus teachers, plan and serve students and academically prepare them, we've gotten to a point where we need to focus more on the whole child outlook, and content-specific PLCs will be held after school. So if you notice here, during the first period of every day, A days or B days, it doesn't really matter, the 6th grade team is going to be meeting in PLCs on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That does not just apply to 6th grade. That will be really campus-wide. We do have it by grade level. And so those PLCs will occur Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with Monday and Friday, those particular periods for our 6th grade team, and really, again, all grade levels, will be taking place during the first period of the day. If you notice that Wednesdays are going to be dedicated to campus-wide professional development, and content specific, for example, our math PLC will be all math teachers, both Cobra Tech and main campus, will be meeting on designated 2 days per week, 3:05 to 3:35, and that will come up as we continue to progress through the needs assessment. Teacher prep periods, off periods, are occurring every other day as designated. So let's just take a look. For example, when I'm taking a look at this particular teacher here, on A days, our ELA, the first ELAR teacher, actually during 5th period has ELAR intervention. That's going to be a time where kids from either 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 6th period that need intervention are going to be coming into the 5th period every other day. That's because on B days, that teacher has off, which is considered a prep period. With that said, when we think about how we're going back and forth, A days, this particular teacher will always have that first period as either PLC or prep, depending on the day of the week. And finally, B days, they will not only have PLC or prep during first period, but they will also have it during 11th period. It does change as we make our way through, and so these are just examples of how our master schedule is going to look. And as you all know, some of you are probably wondering, what is it as it pertains to, for example, our ELAR students? Core students are going to be seen every single day. So the same students that this teacher has 2nd period on A day, this teacher will also have those exact same students during 8th period on B day. Same goes for our math teacher down here. This math teacher will have the same students during 2nd period that they have during 8th period on B days. If you notice, this math teacher and this ELAR teacher, they are intertwined with their schedule. That was done for a reason, because we want to make sure that students who need both an ELAR intervention and a math intervention elective have the opportunity to do so. Finally, if you notice here, we also have our science and our social studies. These classes at this time have yet to be determined, so if you see something like student leadership, it's a possibility that that teacher will be in charge over the 6th grade ambassadors to make sure that our students are representing their grade level and giving us feedback as the adults on the campus. I know it may seem just a little bit overwhelming to look at this time, but I want everybody to know you will know exactly where you are, what you're doing, when your PLC and prep times are prior to you leaving for the summer.